And weird because, like, I feel like other countries are laughing at Americans because of, like, how they play soccer.
The wussification of soccer.
Yeah.
It's like, we're better and we care more about it. And, like, we only care about the World Cup. Nobody gives a shit about MLS. We come here to get a bag off of you, then we go back to our country and laugh at you.
Yeah, except for we don't win.
Exactly. So it's just catch.
Except for the women.
The women always win, and we treat them like shit. And Hope Solo was beating
Alex
people
Morgan.
up. It's true. Didn't she just have another kid, or has she just been, like, chilling?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Because she had a kid, and then I think she went back to playing. But, yeah, it's...
You know who had a kid is Patrick Mahomes.
He did. I totally forgot to talk about it. Anybody remember his name? I totally spaced out on his name. But yeah.
No.
But back to, like, yeah, the whole point. I think it's a touchdown. It's like Chaz Surratt, the linebacker out of North Carolina. He had 27 bench press reps. Clemson receiver Amari Rodgers had 24 bench press reps in honor of a fallen teenager. He died. He was killed at like 15. I think Devontae Holman. I forget his name. But he did 24 reps in honor of that kid. It's going to be interesting the way people do their combines because they're training. And they're probably going to be more comfortable. And this might just be the new future. Like, they announced 323 combine invites, but if media is not there and there's no real access and people can feed that access to, you know, their different channels, do you really care? Like, actually, no, that's another one. The NFL Combine. 323 invites. Does anybody care about the Combine this year?
Yes and no.
It's even like if they visualize some of the Zoom calls, like is that a touchdown or a turnover? If they like play back a Zoom call, or like they show video, they're just gonna show a video of somebody running a 40 at their training facility.
Well, it's like a lot of people, especially over the past like 3 years, have been kind of shit on the Combine and whatnot, but it's like it does help a lot of people. I think, you know, when I read Marcellus Wiley's book, he talked about it. He was like, yeah, it's basically like a slave auction, but helped my stock. So I can't even say that I didn't enjoy it because guess what? I looked good in underwear and I was a fucking track star playing DN. So it made me money. Like, I was from Columbia. People had a 7th round grade on me before then. And I went up to the second round based off of fucking underwear Olympics. Like,
and some people are just comfortable with, you know, being on a slave plantation, to further his analogy. Warren Sapp would disagree and said you go to the Combine and lose money. They keep you up all times of night. Pry questions, ask if your mother was a crack.
It just depends on where you're at. It just depends on where you're at.
I mean, Des Bryant would disagree with you.
My point, though, is like a lot of people. That's the thing is like what I liked about the Combine was the spectacle of it. The fact that, yeah, you are running fucking 40s in a hotel room and you are running from place to place all over the place and you still got to go out there and compete with a quarterback you've never worked with before. Like, you got to do these interviews and it's a lot. And seeing how people kind of succeed was always something that I enjoyed. Like, I enjoyed seeing people make money and while that meant somebody else was losing money, like, that's just the nature of the game. Like, you don't get into football because you're afraid of competition. You don't get into football because you're afraid to go to a fucking combine and compete. These kids have been going to combines for 10, 15 years. Like, it's just another one. So, I would have liked to. I like to see it. In terms of this year, like, yeah, because I'm not gonna care about it. I'm gonna care about it even less because it's so much easier now than ever to fucking record your workout and put it on IG, and that's kind of what I was hitting towards.
The box jump
with Connor was like, I just feel like so much is about recruiting So much is about like, oh, get started now, get started early, like get college coaches' attention, build a brand. Like, it's like, dude, you want these players to brand themselves, brand their games before they even know
Fully
who they
furnished.
are as a person, let alone as a player. Like,
You want children to act like adults and then tell them that they can't have the respect of that an adult incurs.
I think the
They're
other
children.
thing, the other thing of it, and this is a tangent, is it just enables bad coaching. Like, you could say what you want as a hover parent, but like at the end of the day, like your kid is only going to go so far, and you don't control most of it. They don't control most of it. All they can do is show up and work. And it's on the coaches, or at least it's supposed to be on the coaches, to develop them, to teach them the game, to make sure that they're being decent human beings and decent teammates. And a lot of these coaches aren't doing that because guess what? They just have fucking recruiting relationships, and that's why they got their job, off relationships. But they don't really want to mold men anymore. They don't really want to develop players. They just want to win so that they can get to the next stop. And that's pretty much being trickled down to the players. They just want to work out for IG and get to the next level, and then get to the next level from that. But they're missing all the beauty in the fucking process.
Yeah. Like, we talked about your story and how you started. We talked about our stories and how we started in football, but like, Lawndale didn't win shit when I went there. I could have went to Hawthorne, but I was like, I don't want to fucking go to Hawthorne. Like, I already know other people. And on top of that, like, in 2007, if you were living in Hawthorne, you know, it was bad blood at Hawthorne and Lusinger. There were riots every day. TCG at Lusinger, you know, Samoans fighting and shit, crazy shit going on at Hawthorne. Lawndale was like the safe zone. It was like, okay, you can go I can go prove myself here. Nobody knows me.
And for any player, every player has their own story. And we talked about it, you know, with the pros, but I remember even this week hearing Shaq Thompson talk about, you know, how he really came from nothing and had to walk down the street to take showers because they didn't have running water, and about how he still keeps that in the front of his mind, even though he got his second contract. He's trying to get his third contract for his nieces and his nephews. But across the board, football is a game for emotional men. Like, everybody has a story. Everybody has gone through shit. Nobody plays football because they're a regular, normal fucking human being. Like, nobody does that. So, football it's a community igniter. It's a character builder. It gives you discipline. It gives you a bunch of shit we can go on and about. But I think here on this podcast, it's something that, you know, definitely both helped us not only become men, but really just kind of venture out on ourselves. And even leaving the game, it made us kind of think differently. You know, what do we actually want to do? We thought we wanted to do this, but we really didn't. You know, we just wanted to be around it. So how can we still maintain being around it, talking about it, being a part of the culture without hitting each other and fucking up our knees and having headaches every other week? And guess what? We found that. But that journey of having to go to a losing school, having to go to a new school, and fucking building something or just maintaining something, like, that was a part of the process. But now these kids, it's like, you tell them all day long in class, you know, hey, social media is not important, blah, 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 you know, getting attention. You don't want to get attention for the wrong reasons. But then you're telling them to build a brand and get as much attention from college scouts as they possibly can. It's like,
put your GPA in your profile. You're just 14, bro.
You're undercutting the whole experience. You're undercutting the whole point of it.
Yeah, it's weird, but I am happy for Brandon Marshall and what he's building. I Am Athlete, the commercial he did with Cam Newton, with Chad Johnson, Fred Taylor. Fred Taylor is a Hall of Fame running back. I want to point that out. I thought this before. Maurice Jones-Drew took over all the carries, but what he did in Jacksonville,
I told you that before, and you disagreed with me.
I said he wouldn't get in because of politics and the league.
And I told you Fred Taylor was better than Matt Forte.
Oh yeah, I totally agreed.
No,
with
you
that.
didn't.
I definitely.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't, bro. You were going hard for Matt Forte.
Nah.
Yeah, you were, dog.
I said Matt Forte has a better skill set, but if I'm starting from scratch,
and I'm
picking Fred Taylor.
And I said Fred Taylor was better than Frank Gore.
Okay, now you're just lying. Because I know you didn't watch Florida football, you piece of shit. You paid attention to Miami, and you couldn't even name the stretch of running backs they had. Go ahead, name me 5 running backs from Frank Gore's era. 5. That played on Miami with him.
Najee Davenport.
I knew you were going to say that first.
Clinton Portis.
Clinton Portis. Okay.
Willis McGahee.
Okay.
That's 3.
I said 5, bitch.
I don't know.
Okay.
Stephen Morris.
There's a quarterback.
I know. It's just the only Miami player I could think of.
Wow, you are
10 years.
terrible. Because it's Stacey Collie. That's a receiver, by the way. But I'll give you the other 2 names. One of them was Walter Payton's son. He played at Miami.
Okay.
And
okay, don't look at me like I was supposed to fucking know that.
Yeah, you were definitely supposed to know that. You were supposed to know that. Where'd Fred Taylor's son go? You don't even know where Fred Taylor's son went, do you? He went to Florida, and he didn't get drafted.
You said he was supposed to be good, like 4 years ago.
His son was supposed to be good, and then a lot of shit happened at Florida. Everybody gets arrested at Florida. Bro, like, if we went to Florida, we'd probably get arrested. It'd be a bullshit reason, but, you know.
Damn, dog. I don't know, man.
Miami had so many running backs who washed out but made it to the league.
Okay, I'm going to open this question up to Eric, too. Okay. If you knew you could go to the NFL, be a Pro Bowler, All-Proler, live a great life, have a couple good contracts.
Said an All-Proler.
But your kids would be cursed.
Trash. Michael Jordan trash.
And just like floundering around through life. Through like their 40s.
That's fucked up.
Would you make that move?
That's some Kratos shit.
I don't know. What can you say? It's that it happens or it never would. I mean, you know, your kids can never live up to who you are, but some kids just don't live up to their parents. I mean, they'll like some kids are better, some kids are not. I mean, you're talking about greats there, like Michael Jordan. His son's not going to be Michael Jordan ever.
Wayne Gretzky's kids,
you know.
But that's what I'm saying. So
Randy Moss's son, who is bigger than him, didn't even get drafted.
Tight end, yep.
You know.
So that's what I'm saying. So if you could choose to have greatness for yourself at the expense of your kids, or to see your kids be great, what would you prefer?
In a particular field, not like their failures in life.
Kind of failures.
You can't call Michael Jordan's kids failures in life. You don't know what they're doing now.
I'm not saying they're failures.
They probably have money, bro.
Arm living in a burnt down RV in Venice, or are you just saying like, oh, they didn't want to get
smoked out RV in Venice? Burying chicken balls? Would you rather? What you're saying is you're okay with being Jello?
They're just ordinary.
You're okay with being Jello, and your brothers are LiAngelo and LaMelo? I mean, you're okay being LiAngelo, and your brothers are, you know, better than you.
I'm just asking the question. If you knew you could sacrifice your greatness and your kids be great, or you be great and your kids just be average, what would you rather do?
I'd sacrifice.
I don't know. I'll probably want my kids to be great, to be honest.
Am I an adult in the 80s?
In the great,
because if I'm an adult in the 80s, I can get away with a lot of shit.
In the great words of Bernie Mac, fuck them kids. I'm trying to be great.
Shit, bro. You just max your brother's faster than you as a freshman. Your brother's definitely faster than you. I believe it. And I told you.
Okay, why you bringing up shit? That's why you was ducking me for the routes.
I wasn't ducking for routes. You purposely have routes on Fridays where I work. When I did get the day off, I didn't hear no routes being talked about in the group chat. It was quiet.
All right,
Want to get routed? We can get routed. We can go out in the parking lot right now, run routes.
Anybody else got something they're burning on? They want to talk about? Start the rants.
Anything they're burning on?
Jim Rome is burning.